And the battle is off for the most affordable dedicated retro gaming emulation device of 2023. After seeing the success of the Miyoo Mini, Anbernic has jumped in with the answer of the Rg35xx. So pretty excited to see what they have to offer here, especially with the history of their very well built handhelds in the past. And being somewhat of a fan of the original Game Boy myself. I know this has been out for quite a while, but general life plans have caused some unfortunate delays for making this video, but now we have official updates as well as a tasty alternative OS, making this handheld a lot more appealing from its buggy introduction. We also have some further competition from other companies just around the corner, and I will be covering content on those handhelds in the near future. My first impressions, the transparent purple is looking really good. Could be a little bit brighter though. Very simple design, which is great for newcomers to this market and people who just like a simple dedicated handheld for your retro gaming on the go. We have two SD card slots on the right hand side where you just find one of them being used. I went for the 64GB model, which is a bit of an overkill for my attentive purpose. More info on the second slot coming up later on. We have our 4 trigger pads placed at the back of this handheld, which have been nicely sized and comfortable to use. With a short travel that our micro switch, no analog input here. The D-pad has a rubber membrane which feels absolutely great, much like the previous handhelds in the past. It is slightly bigger than that of the OG Game Boy and feels more precise. The main front facing buttons have a glossy finish. Again, they are rubber membrane and are nicely sized, a little bit bigger than other competition. They have a little slight rattle, but nothing too major. The start and select and home button are all plastic as well, which are more like a rubber type of texture, just like the original Game Boy. We got our volume dials on the top left. Again, they are plastic. They are just micro switch with a very short travel. A dialing wheel, much like the original Game Boy, would have been pretty cool. Then at the top we have a quality micro HDMI adapter that looks very well built. Would have preferred it at the bottom so we could create a dedicated docking station or something in the future. Or even a dust cover to keep these pocket crumbs out of these ports. And we have the USB-C port and audio jack at the bottom. On arrival with getting these handhelds, I recommend putting the screen protector on straight away. As I mentioned in the past, I did make a big mistake not doing so. Pretty tight fit, just slightly off from getting it edge to edge. So now that is done, it is time for the specs of this handheld, just to see what we are working with here. But before we do, here is a quick mention to the guys at Brooks, who I'm very grateful for sending me some of the gaming hardware, which I have made some dedicated videos before, and some further content will be coming very soon regarding these awesome products. They were kind enough to send me a pair of their wireless headsets that can be used on a multitude of gaming consoles, including that of the PlayStation 5, which I will be showing quickly here. Really excited about these, as I was personally after a pair of wireless headsets, but now Brook offer a premium built quality that matches that of the official PlayStation 5 with extra functionality and extra compatibility with a more affordable cost. Everything here is so well packaged. It comes with a USB dongle, 2.4 GHz low latency 20mm non-compressed audio, neodymium audio drivers, detachable phones with extra ones for backup, which is really handy, which I find very comfortable. We got an adjustable headband, a detachable mic, a breathing RGB LED effect, with a very smart plastic leather material bag to protect it all. I experienced a simple plug and play with a quick syncing up to the headset, which is what we all want. Personally, I am new to a higher premium build of headset, and these are a pleasure to use. A little bit heavier than what I'm used to, but they do carry over the low end of the sound frequencies very well, giving you the gaming audio a richer, more full sound that I have experienced in the past. A more detailed review will be coming very soon. UK, EU and USA purchase links will be below. Now back to the specs, which we'll quickly brush up on. We have a quad-core A9, typically operates around about 2 GHz. And we have a quad-core Power VR GPU, nothing really fancy at all. For the RAM, we got DDR3, 256 RAM, so on the low end of specs here. We got 64GB of SD card storage. The screen resolution is 640 by 480, which is quite common with these handhelds, but it is perfect for emulating retro gaming consoles. and it is all operated on the Linux OS. It is packed with a 2600 mAh battery, but people have been mentioning that they have seen a 3000 mAh on their handheld. All in all, some pretty low specs to keep that budget down, but what seems like already we got some good quality built handheld here. Now here's a quick comparison of the prior release of the RG353V, which essentially is the big daddy version of the Rg35xx. Review video links are below. As you can tell, next to it is the same type of build and design with those extra quality analog sticks and better specs. The transparent colour of the Rg35V does pop out more, slightly better than of the Rg35xx in my view. And here's a quick size comparison to the popular handheld, the Miyoo Mini. This is the version 2, and I believe it's caused more problems than it's actually worth, with screen issues, stock issues, and personally I have never even picked this up after my first review. It is just too small, and the build quality with the screen, I'm pretty scared that it will just break any moment. And there's far more enjoyable, more comfortable handhelds out there that are capable of even doing more. The Rg35xx is a lovely, nice big step all around from that of the Miyoo Mini. The classic retro style also looks pretty great, so I can really see this being one of the best budget handhelds of 2023. But of course we will be seeing more handhelds, which we'll be covering in the near future. Booting this up is very quick, and you do have access to a very simple navigation menu fit for a child to get even around with no limitations and lack of options. Built in with the customization on the menu, sleep and reset option, and retro arc settings. But straight out of the box you will find that you will still need quite a bit of tweaking, especially with the retro arc settings, as I did find even with the simple emulation of Game Boy Color, it does have some slowdowns and some sound popping, and even a potato could even run this system. It's packed with filters and background presets that a lot of people just are not a fan of. So I won't be going into too much detail of the OS and capabilities of this pre-installed one, as I do recommend jumping on the bandwagon of the custom firmware that has been built by Black Seraph. I will set up a link to that video in the description box below on how to install this with a further detail and review with that OS in mind. But you will find with this device that is capable of running up to the generation console of PlayStation 1, so everything prior to the release of PlayStation 1 like the Mega Drive and the SNES and Game Boy Advance, and even some arcade titles do run really well. I will have to mention one of the most impressive parts of this handheld alongside its build quality and impressive D-pad is the screen quality with its full viewing angles, colour balance and clarity. It is up there to be one of the top handheld screens for these type of devices. And I do like a handheld with a video output, and you do get that quality with Anbernic here, but you may find that this does automatically stretch to 16:9 to fill your screen, but with some TV settings adjustments you will then get a natural 4:3. I just do hope that we will get a decent docking bay for one of these handhelds in the near future. So again, more details on the OS and functionalities, please head to my Onion OS review and update video found in the description, where we can now say this is a well worth pickup from the work of Black Seraph and Anbernic Engineering at that budget cost for 2023. Really a great handheld, which will now be my source for picking up on the go on games on systems like the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, and perhaps some cheeky Dreamcast VMU and Pokemon Pocket titles. Well, for how long we'll have to see, as these handhelds keep on growing and getting better, which I am looking forward to in the near future. So as always, if you like this video, hit that button. If you want to support, click subscribe, leave a comment below, and hope to catch you lot on the next video.